Real show on Reconcilers Radio. My name is Amanda, the host for this show. Thank you all for tuning in. Hello Facebook Live, thank you all for tuning in. It's the Keep It Real show on Reconcilers Radio. My name is Amanda, the host for this show. So all those who just tuned in now, you're not too late. You know, we just started the show about 45 minutes ago.
You're late.
You're late. This one says you're late. So started the show about 45 minutes ago. And yes, so the topic for today is contentment in singleness. How do you remain content, you know, in the single season, the season of singleness? What does it mean to be single? Is there a purpose, you know, behind the single season? Yeah, so all these questions related to that. So we have a very special guest here today. Would you be able to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Christina, and I am the author of the Singleton.
The book now. So Christina is the author of the book Singleton. She's a young woman of God who has a blog as well. And thank you for all those who tuned in. Thank you, Maria Mwakubwedu. Thank you, Rama Sandra. God richly bless you. God richly bless you. Maria Mwakubwedu says, good evening, beloved. Good evening.
Yay.
She's a wonderful lady, a woman of God who has also got a ministry called Pink Conversations. And I've actually been to one of her programs. Very, very empowering. Really empowered me. So I'll be at your next show, hopefully. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all those who just tuned in as well. I'm just checking on Facebook to check all of you. So we have various questions regarding the season of singleness. So I'll get my sis as well to share any messages that people have, you know, or questions that people have sent regarding this. So how can we deal with the mentality of what? So how can we do the mentality that, you know, when is it going to be my turn? Of, you know, how long is it going to take? Or when is it going to be my turn?
I think it's about trusting God. I think if you trust God, you will know that God's timing is perfect. God's timing is the right time. I think if you're obsessed with being married or being in a relationship, you'll be frustrated.
It's very true. So how do you get to a point where you're not, you know, obsessed? Because sometimes, you know, I mention to people, I'm like, oh, you know, it's really cold. They're like, yeah, your husband is coming. So how do you get to a place where we're like, you know, not, what do you call it, obsessed? But you know, I think obviously it's to do with our relationship with God. Depends on our intimacy with God. Mm-hmm. If we're really pursuing God as much, you know, as He's pursuing us, then our focus will not be so much. But what do you say?
I agree. I think that one of the things that I done was after being single for a while and build my relationship with God, I was like, God, there's still certain things that I want to do that I can't do with you. Like going to the cinema. I like going to the cinema, like on date nights or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I can't do that with you. And I think God was just like, yeah, you can. Like, just go to the cinema. I remember the first time I went to cinema by myself. What did I go and watch? I think it was The Avengers, second one. Mm-hmm. And I went and I was just like, it's kind of weird because I'm by myself and people are probably thinking, like, oh, bless her. She's like, but I had such a good time, and I think it's, you create that relationship with God. It doesn't just happen. And I think there's not one thing that I don't do with God that I'm looking for elsewhere. And I know people can say, oh yeah, but what about sex? I don't crave sex outside of marriage. It's not to say that I haven't before, but I'm in that stage of my life where when I have sex, I want it to be within the marriage. I'm not married yet, so I don't crave that. And I feel like I think a lot of people want to get married because they're Christians and they think, you know, if I get married, I will avoid the temptation of sexual sin. And I think they think that marriage is a cure for lust and is a cure for, you know, if I'm married to my partner, you know, we can just be having sex and I don't need to. But I feel like you still need to deal with that issue of sexual sin. Yeah, that doesn't go away and when you get married.
With obviously also with soul ties and and not just their emotions and, you know, curses and things that you've created as a result of being involved, you know, in things. If we go deeper into sex, it's not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. You know, it requires two people to come, you know, to come together. And it's even beyond that. You know, God makes man and woman one. It's like a union, right? Marriage. Yeah. And so if you're having sex, it's almost like you're uniting yourself, but God does not put you together.
I think it's very difficult to break away from that. I think I've certainly been in situations where I know this person's not right for me, but that physical bond, you just can't. I just felt like I couldn't get out of it. Yeah. So I think, but what God has in store for me, if that's not what it is. And I think sometimes you just rush for what you want. And I always say there's consequences to all your actions. So you just might be thinking, oh, but he's my boyfriend and we're going to get married, and so it's okay to have sex. There are consequences for your actions. It's not worth living a life of sexual sin. Even if it's with your soon-to-be husband, it's just not worth it. Because what if it isn't?
Yeah.
How do you deal with, like, God being that disconnect that you have with God because you've decided to open your legs to a guy that's not your husband? I think there's so many, like, emotions that come with having sex before you're married. And that's the thing, God created sex.
And God wants to protect it.
Yeah, He wants you to enjoy it, but within the marriage. And there's reasons, like, He's not restricting something that He Himself created. He just wants us to enjoy it in the way that He created it. And that is within marriage. So I feel like if you're one of those people that you want to get married because you can't stop lusting or you can't stop thinking about sex, or that's all that's on your mind, being married won't change that, because you'll be married to your husband
and you still
your
be
wife,
lustful,
and you'll still be thinking of this person at your workplace or that person that walks down the street. Like that, you need to deal with. I always say this, even with singleness, you need to deal with the root cause of why you're miserable being single before rushing into being in a relationship, because those feelings don't go away.
It's true.
You hear many people that are married and still lonely.
Yeah.
That are married and unhappy. That are married and they've still got loads of issues. Why? Because they never dealt with them before they got married. They thought marriage was the cure.
Wow. And that is so true, you know. There's punishments associated with our disobedience, you know, with God. And even beyond that, God wants the best for us. Yeah, and that's the reason why He's telling us to wait. He doesn't want us to be connected to somebody who is nothing to do with our purpose. Imagine you connected with this guy, you know, having sex and doing all sorts, and, you know, you get married, you rush into a marriage, and you find out later your purpose is something completely different, you know, to their purpose. They'll come to Christ, but then they can't deal with your purpose. Your purpose is to travel around the world and preach the gospel, and their purpose is to stay at home.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or maybe you can't connect in terms of your purpose. You know, there's nothing that you can share together to impart each other, but you're already stuck in this, you know, relationship. And also exposing ourselves to these things leads us to so many things like abortion and, you know, so many other things that just waste our time and destroys us. And God, I believe that God really wants the best for us, but it's like we have to continuously be aware of the reasons why God has asked us to wait on Him or to be single, you know, and wait on Him and be patient, because there's so much more that He wants us to find out about ourselves, you know, before we get into that relationship. Sorry, you going to say something?
Yeah, I think that even when you're single, I think there's many things to learn. I think for me, I thought that I was ready to be in a relationship. And I think maybe when I was single for about 4 years, I was like, hey, God, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm not desperate anymore. And, you know, I've got my job and I've got this and I've got that. And the only thing that's missing is a guy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And God showed me, like, but you've still got trust issues. You've still got like, I hate men mentality. Like, there's so many things that you're not ready. Like, you think you are, but you're not.
Yeah.
And there's so many things, like even like emotional things that you have to, even like baggage from your past. And because sometimes some of us go from not being in a relationship for a while to going into one, we haven't dealt with our baggage because we've never had to. But that doesn't mean that it's just disappeared. And I feel like even in this season, God showed me, like, no, you still got stuff that you need to work on.
So there's baggage to deal with.
Yeah.
And there's something I think TD did where he filled the whole car boot with stuff. It was like, this is what people are taking into their relationship, into their marriage.
Yeah.
And that's very, very scary. Just got a few comments from different people, and I'm just going to read out. So thank you, Maria Mokubwedu. She says, great topic, being analysed really well. Kudos to both of you ladies. Thank you so much, Marie, for tuning in. Ramasandra says, nice topic. Thank you so much. And then we got a message also from Marie who says, thank you, my dear, and hello to your guest.
Hello.
So that's what Maria Mwakuboy. And Bernard Frimpon says, what's that for? Please, just send your message. And we've got Nanaya Freya. Thank you so much, Nanaya, for tuning in. And she says, here. Thank you so much, sis, for tuning in. Okay, we've got Love MC and Margaret Muhaki who just joined us. Hello. And also we got Ohinida who just joined us. Hello. Hope you're enjoying the show. So our topic for today is contentment in singleness. And I have a special guest here with me. That's Christina Tosin. She is a new author, or just an author and a blogger as well. And her book is coming out on Saturday. And it's called The Singleton. It just talks all about relationship, being content and single. Would you be able to give us just one short message just about the book? We'll talk more about it later as well.
I think so. I think there's a lot of books out there on singleness, especially singleness as a Christian woman. But I think there's very few books out there that are written by people that are still single.
Yeah.
And for me, when I was struggling with being single and I'd pick up a book, I was like, it's easy to say, wait for God when you've got a husband. It's easy to say, trust God's timing, when you've got what I want. Like, it's so easy to say all these things, but you're not going through it. And I think that's one of the reasons why God wanted me to write it, because he wants me to encourage other people. Like, we're still in the same situation. The difference is my mentality has changed. I've been single for 6 years now. Being single, how I was when I was single for the first year is so different to how I was when I was single, let's just say this year. And it's my mentality that's changed. I've decided that I don't want to be miserable and single. And I always say I'm at that stage where I love it just being God. Like, I'm scared for the guy that comes because I might just say no. Like, not no, but I'm like, I just love it, me and God. And that only came when it got to the point where it's like, hey, God, what is it you want from me in this season? And God was just like, you can't give yourself to anybody else when you can't even give yourself to God who gave his son for you. So, yeah.
It's very, very true. Thank you so much, sis. So, please make sure you tune in back again in the next 10 minutes actually. We're going to go on a quick music break. So, please enjoy You Are God by Dietrich Haddon. Oh, that's a beautiful song.
This one, I like it.
So, hi Facebook Live.
Hello.
We're on a quick break, at the station now. Music break. So please send in your questions regarding the purpose of singleness. So this is Christina Tosin, who's written a book about singleness, being content in your singleness, and making sure that God equips you, or should I say God fills you and reveals his purpose to you whilst you're single, and not rushing to get married or be in a relationship. So please send your comments or any questions that you have regarding this topic of singleness. The best people to talk about are people that are single, obviously. It would be nice, obviously, to hear from married folk. So please, those who are married, please send your views as well. What did you do whilst you were single? Did you rush into your relationship, or did you wait on God? And were you patient? Just send us your views as well. Also, we have questions that we're going to be answering, and so please send your messages, or should I say comments regarding these questions. How can we honestly acknowledge our unfulfilled desire for marriage while living a life of genuine contentment? Is it even possible? So please, send that your message regarding that question. How can we honestly acknowledge our unfulfilled desires for marriage while living a life of genuine contentment? Is it even possible? And that's a question from Christina, actually.
That I didn't plan to answer.
And also, how do we step away and break free from discontentment? How do we step away and break free from discontentment? Is it a heart issue? Is it a heart issue? That must be dealt with. And also, what do we do in times of singleness to help keep our focus on God? We have to be focused on God, but what do we do? What do we do in those times, to make sure that we're focused on God? Is it just spending time in the Word? Is there more? Is there friendships? What is it? And what makes us discontent? What makes us feel like, we're not enough? What is that feeling? What is it from? Is it from something we've been through? What is it? Okay, another question is, how do we get to a place of revelation and understand that nothing else will make us content apart from our relationship with God? How do we get to the place of revelation? How do we not put 1 foot in, 1 foot out? How do we not be hot and cold or mixture, lukewarm, but be focused and have revelation that actually there's a season? Because I believe without revelation we'll not have understanding and we'll not be able to apply. So we have to have a revelation of what God is saying. Because we haven't had a revelation, we think, okay, cool, I can do what I want. But once we have a revelation understanding, everything else will be easier. And also the last question, it says, is admiring a man a sign of discontentment? What is your view about that? And how do we ensure we don't cross the line and look desperate? Maybe the way you dress up, like, hey, this person looks desperate, the way they've dressed up. They're becoming a bit desperate. Also, we're going to share comments that people have sent as well. So please make sure you send your comments regarding these questions just below. And I'll read the questions again at a point in time. So please send your comments regarding this question. We're going to go on Facebook Live just to go on a quick break again. And please join us back here in a few minutes. Just about 4 minutes. So please join us back here in about 4 minutes. And yeah. See ya.